So, I'm back from Union Square Green Market and I got some amazing ingredients and I can't wait to cook. To be honest, I wasn't all that present when I was there. I went out for dinner last night with a friend and I was feeling really expansive. And so now I really want to cook something nourishing for myself to bring my emotions back down, bring my feelings back down so I can be productive, I can be on point, and I can feel nourished and grounded. So I'm really excited to do that and show you all what I like to cook. I'm going to be making one of my personal favorites. It's called my Earth Bowl with some green goddess dressing that I made up too. So let's get started. So we're making an earth bowl today, and it's a bunch of different grounding ingredients that are really good for you and really nourishing. And again, it'll bring your emotions back down to earth, bring them to home base, make you feel productive, and make you feel more grounded, which is awesome, especially for women. So we're gonna put in some chickpeas, and I'm gonna spice them with some cumin and some cinnamon. And then we're gonna have some millet, and I'm gonna steam this with some onion. And millet is the grain of the gods. It is one of the only grains that has all 9 amino acids. It's perfect for digestion. To me, it's a mixture of rice, pasta, and corn, which are the best flavors, and it's really delicious and really good, and it's super cheap. It's like $1.29 for a whole pound if you get it at a bulk shop like Whole Foods or something. And then I have some microgreens. They're little micro radishes and they're really good. They have a great bite to it. We have our carrots from the Union Square Green Market, an apple and a pear from an organic market, a couple of radishes we bought as well, a butternut squash. Winter squash is really great. We're gonna roast half of this. And then I'm also gonna make a green goddess dressing, which consists of dandelion greens, which are super clearing for the lungs. They're really good for you, and they have a ton of minerals like iron, magnesium. They're very, very good. And we're gonna mix that with some basil that we got in Union Square Market, as well as some scallions. And we're gonna top this all off with some amazing butter lettuce that we got. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start by roasting this butternut squash, and we're only gonna roast half of it. So what I would do is be careful with your hands, cut it right down the middle. Let's just use this much so we can save this for later. I don't like using a peeler. You can use a peeler, but for me, this is the easiest. Score it all the way down, removing the skin. What I want to do is I want to steam these. So salt all of these. I want to pepper these. And I'll throw a little bit of olive oil on here. Ooh, just a very tiny amount. Loosen them up, and then what I want to do is just one. I'm not making them too covered because I want them to basically just steam, and I'm gonna put them on this little sizzle tray and pop them in the oven. 400 degrees for about, check on them in 40 minutes. Peel your carrots, always peel the carrots. Take your grater and just grate these carrots. Be careful not to cut yourself, because guess what? I have cut myself a few times. Beautiful little radishes. Also, you can do this ahead of time. I sometimes prep all of this stuff and put them in little Tupperwares and do them ahead of time, so all I have to do is just put them together and bam. Next, we're gonna chop our apple. I just do this a very simple way. I'm just gonna use a little bit. Chop, 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 chop. And I'm gonna make a small dice cut. I like using pears and apples because I like adding the element of sweetness to this earth bowl and the element of crunch, and also they are super grounding fruits that are really good for you. So I'm gonna make the green goddess dressing, and this is my version of it, and there are different versions out there, but I love this one in particular. So I'm gonna start out with a cup of filtered water. Throw that in there, always liquids first, in my opinion. Now I'm gonna add a half cup of tahini, and this is blended sesame paste. It's really good. And I've already emptied it, and here it goes. Dump that in. 3 cloves of garlic. The juice from half a lemon. Now I'm putting in half of that whole bunch of dandelion greens, half of the bunch of basil, and 2 stalks of scallions, but just the green tops. We're gonna throw in half a cup of olive oil. About a 1/4 cup of maple syrup as a sweetener, and this cuts the bitterness and it cuts the bite. But I'm gonna start by only pouring half of this because I'm doing this to taste, and that's really important. Some good quality salt, pinches, some pepper. All right, let's blend. Smells good already. Now I'm gonna add in a little bit of apple cider vinegar, probably a couple teaspoons. I'm gonna start with 1 and then taste and see how I feel. So you should do this according to your palate and learn your palate as you go. It's really important in any time you do intuitive cooking like this. Oh, it smells so good. So I made a lot of this. What I like to do, store this in a quart container and label it and put it in the fridge, and this will last me up to 2 to 3 weeks, and I can literally pour it on everything. It is so good for you, packed with vitamins, nutrients, minerals, green goddess dressing, the bomb. So now we're gonna toast some pumpkin seeds. Put it on your pan, shake it out a little bit. I like to just push it around and just let it sit there for 2 to 3 minutes, maybe not even. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to saute the chickpeas. So put in about a tablespoon of olive oil. This is on medium heat, roughly, and then put in your chickpeas. Give it a nice sizzle. I like to add in some salt, some squish, some pepper. Next up is about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, quarter teaspoon of cumin, and if you like, add in some red pepper flakes just for a little kick. All right, and we are done. So the butternut squash is pretty much finished. Oh yeah, they look good. I'm just gonna let them chill out over here, and we're gonna work on our millet. So the first thing that you do, you take an onion. What we're gonna do is carefully cut the onion in half. We're probably only gonna use about half of this. So I'm gonna cut this into a small dice. So cut the onion this way, slice it very finely from the top all the way down to the bottom, and then turn it around and then dice like this. That is the best way to cut an onion without sobbing all over it. Perfect. So I'm going to start out with a medium saute pan and make sure it gets hot on medium heat. Throw in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Then we're going to throw in the onions and saute them until they're clear. Then we're going to take our millet. This is 1 cup of millet. Put it in and mix it in with the onions. You get nice and moist. Mix it all in together. Then I'm going to add in, since it's 1 cup of millet, I'm going to go with 1.5 cups of water. And we're going to let that cook in. Also, I'm going to add in a splash of Mirin. Just a little splash. Ooh. I like using that whenever I cook rice or any kind of grain. It just makes it taste really good. Bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna throw the lid on. So now the millet is cooked, and it only took about 20 minutes, but look at the consistency of this. It is puffy, it is beautiful, and this is exactly how you want it to be, and it's super delicious. So now we're gonna plate. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your beautiful butter lettuce, and I like to lay this down like so. You can break it up if you want, but for plating purposes, I like doing it like this. And then I'm gonna take some of the dressing and just drizzle it on. Then I'm gonna take my round, and I like to make things a little bit fancy, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, because at the end of the day, it's all just going to be mixed up together anyway. I like to put it in this little mold round right here. Oops, I'm getting it everywhere. Oop, comes up like that. Then top with some chickpeas. The butternut squash could go. The fun thing about plating is you can really just get super creative, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It really just depends on you. I just like making things look pretty because to me it's part of intuitively eating, and that's just what makes cooking super fun and enjoyable. Let's do this. And then top it off. Oop, I'll do this. Put some more dressing on it. And then top it off with pumpkin seeds. So this is my perfect earth bowl that I have whenever I need to feel grounded and productive and make better decisions. It's really delicious, it's easy to make. You can make all of these ahead of time and just throw it together for an easy meal. If you like what I've had to say and you found this to be super informative, just like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on the notifications so every time I make a new video, you get notified. Thanks so much. Have a great day.